Alright. It's Alex Brad here with America's Broke. What are the lasting effects of financial literacy? Let's check it out. First stop, we're going to do Crushing Debt. Alright. So these are from 2015 2016. And as you can see here, 35 to 54. On average, you have about $135,000 in debt for your primary residence, education loans, vehicle, credit card, etc. But if you are a borrower or debtor, that means your primary, secondary, as well as other debts, are coming in at the 600K level. Pretty high. And then on average, from your student loans, you have about 20K in your 20s. But then moving on to 30s, it doubles. And pretty much just stays there. But don't you worry, young friend. When you're 90 or more, it'll be about 21K. Right where you started at your 20s. How to feel young again. Anyway, homes have gone up since 2015 and 16, as you can see the majority here and here. With wages staying the same, you are definitely going to be able to buy that house. Just kidding. Anyway, student loans affect about 45% of people under the age of 35, which is almost a majority, meaning that anybody under 35 that you get to meet will probably have about 40K in debt, just due to student loans. Education is grand. Speaking of education, we got course requirements. 23 out of 50 states say that you should have a financial class taken before you can graduate. But as we can clearly see here, in 2019, 70% of high schoolers in America had the option to take a personal finance course, but only 17% of students were required to take one. If I had one in high school and I had to be required to take it, that's probably why I would have taken it. Not on my own person. Anyway, moving back, 90% of Americans report spending more than their income past year. Probably due to helping with our stimulus checks and stuff. Because of COVID. But 73% of people with high financial literacy scores claim to gain their education from personal experience. That means trial and error. Trial, error, and phone a friend. But that comes with a loss of money. As we can keep jumbling around here, financial literacy costs each American about $1,600 on average in 2020, which accumulates to about $415 billion nationally, with a B. Oh, snap-a-doo. As we move on here, only 33% of adults in worldwide Earthland are financially literate. But in South Asia, they have the lowest financial literacy rates at only 25% of adults. Although Northern Europe is leading the charge, with Denmark, Germany, Netherlands, and Sweden coming out with the 65% of adults. Not even 85. If you were thinking 85, you were completely wrong. The other thing to mention is that minority groups on average have about 9 to 16% lower financial literacy scores compared to Caucasians. Caucasians win again, I guess. Anyway, 4 out of 7 Americans are financially literate, with only 24% of millennials understanding basic financial concepts. 2 plus 2 equals banana. When you become reliant on financial experts for this education, many will not pay and thus suffer from it, aka trial and error. Whether this is intentional or not for our established system is neither here nor there, because we need to get rid of this, otherwise the fallout will become worldwide and it will become catastrophic. Now, because of time, I need to move through this one pretty quickly, but the main thing to look here is your credit score over 680. Not very much here. Not very much for your dire straits. 19%, 25% struggling. Thriving, they don't really care. Money's not an issue. That's why they are in the green. Managing's a little bit iffy here. But for the credit score, they're looking okay. For the health crisis, though, it's really hard for them to get their loan payments every month, especially if they are in debt with medical bills. And then the other thing to mention is that they are not necessarily on track for long-term savings and assets, which means that they are compounding their lag behind everybody. So here are the 3 financial big questions here. I just wanted everyone to answer them. That way they could gauge to see where they're at on the topographical scale. So the first question, suppose you had $100 in the savings account with an interest rate of 2%. After 5 years, lots of numbers there, how much do you think you would have in the account if you left the money to grow? More than 102, exactly 102, less than 102, I don't know, and I don't give a... Put your answer down below, write it on your hand, put it on your foot, whatever you need to. Imagine that the interest rate on your savings account was 1% per year and inflation was 2% per year. After 1 year, with that money in the account, would you be able to buy more than today? Exactly the same as today? Less than today? I don't know. Get me out of this questionnaire. Those are your answers. Put them down below. Do you think the following statement is true or false? Buying a single company stock provides a safer return than a stock mutual fund. True? False? I don't know. Or you just flat out refuse to answer. Leave it blank. I'm only grading you. Alright. Final answers. Number 1, more than 2%. You got 2% every year for 5 years? Yeah, you're getting some money. It's compounding yearly. Number 2, less than today. Yes, inflation is 2%. You're only getting 1% of your savings account. Get that crap out of there. Buy some stock. B, false. For number 3, bonds are better than regular old stock. Stonk. Financial literacy age in the US, so you can look at your age groups down here. And then these are the percentage that got all 3 of these answers correct. Not just 1, not just 2, all 3. It's the trifecta here. So that's the percentage that you would be in. And unfortunately, if you didn't, you'd be in the opposite. These are my references. Thanks for watching.